I feel like he's used to it at this point.
Yeah, probably. He's probably since.
Listen, you gotta be leaving these
Hey guys, it's Nick, David, and Chelsea of the future. Someone didn't want our voices to be heard in this time, so now we gotta speak over it, doing our first ever episode in post-commentary.
Yeah, so there's not much to tell here, really. Basically, the audio just crashed at some point during one of our recording sessions, and we lost the commentary over like an hour's worth of gameplay footage. So now we're doing this instead. Talking over what happened then, now.
I think you were in control here when you were doing this.
Yeah, this is my level. We've been rotating off all game. We just sort of hit the point, like, at the time we're recording this now, we're already done with the game, but at this point in our playthrough, we were just kind of starting to hit the point where I was just fucking done with this fucking game.
Yeah, Nick was starting to lose it here. If you couldn't tell within the past 6 episodes that he doesn't like this game,
well,
he doesn't like this game.
I feel like it was a slow crawl for a while. Like, all the annoyances started adding up, and they kind of all reached a head in the last episode, where I spent like, I don't know, 40 minutes running around chasing Shadow Mario.
Yeah, and right here you're trying to do what you did in the last
so now I'm just
episode.
trying to break the game.
And failing, because this game doesn't want to be broken.
I'm sure this game is airtight. Like, there's very little doubt of that in my mind, but...
Yeah, well, Nintendo's seal of quality.
I was just so bored with trying to complete the actual objectives that I didn't want to do any of it, and...
So he went for a nice relaxing swim in the hope of breaking the game.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
And that's pretty much gonna be this level. Like, we'll get to the actual meat of the level in a moment here, which is gonna be a surprise, a shitty platforming segment, and it takes me like a million fucking years to do this, and I get progressively worse at it every time.
Yeah, I was tempted to tell him the shortcut, and I did eventually tell him an alternative means of completely bypassing this segment altogether, but Nick's a big boy. I thought he could figure it out.
Go figure. But I want to ask you guys, because we've established where I'm at with this game at this point. Well, I want to know where you guys are at.
Okay, like us like you and me, not Chelsea and I, not the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, maybe they're playing along.
Honestly, I would like to know anyone who's watching your opinions of this game, because especially if you've played like the Galaxy games, I feel like this doesn't hold up at all.
Well, considering this came out before Galaxy, that couldn't exactly be used as a standard back then.
I think this was the first big 3D Mario platformer since 64, and that's why people remember it fondly. I think, taken on its own merits, it's actually just not a very good game.
No, I'm trying to remember what my thoughts were at this point.
Oh yeah, I remember this part. I believe I kept trying to tell you to spray those green things so that they can flip and you can stand on them.
Yeah, but that doesn't work because they don't stay flipped.
They're not supposed to stay permanently flipped.
Yeah.
They're only supposed to flip long enough for you to get on and get off.
They don't, though. Like, I spray it, I climb it, there it goes.
Yeah.
What good timing.
It's done. Yeah. But yeah, so where do you guys fall with this game? Do you think it has actual merit as a video game, or that people just remember it fondly?
I would say that this has actual merit as a video game at first, but then it starts getting to the, well, me personally anyway, I think it does kind of just drag out to the point where you're just doing the same thing over and over again, and sometimes that's in annoyingly luck-based ways, as I'm sure you guys watched with the panel flipping of Casino Serena.
Yeah.
That, like, parts like that annoy me, where basically I had to count on physics working in my favor for that brief bit. And then I also kind of don't like the platforming. It is kind of stiff. Like, there are moments of this game I do enjoy. Like, I like blooper surfing. And,
Yeah. But,
like,
if
using
you're
the
not getting the platforming right in a Mario game, then, like, what the fuck are you doing?
I guess part of why I don't like the platforming is that they expect you to be using FLUDD all the time, and someone must have thought that that was too easy, so they had to force you in situations where it was constantly taken away. So it kind of feels like they wanted to have FLUDD as the main gimmick, but then changed their minds halfway through thinking that would be too easy.
Yeah, or something. I don't know if difficulty was the prime motivation, but it does seem like they may have just run out of ideas. I mean, there's a chance there's a reason there were 2 Mario Galaxy games in a relatively short amount of time, and there's never been a sequel to Sunshine.
Despite the fans constantly asking.
Sure.
I'm not one of those fans, but
like, they couldn't even come up with enough FLUDD gimmicks to carry one game all the way through. At least that's the impression I get.
my general point, like general feelings overall for the game is I like it at first, but then it kind of loses its novelty really quick. Then it just becomes tedious. I would still call it a game, and I can understand why people like it, but
Yeah.
this is just one of the ones that I'm like, yay, and then I'm losing my patience about 30 to 40% of the way through it, but I guess I have a better face about it.
I remember talking about this the first time we recorded this too. Like, I still don't understand what these orange things, like these little feet at the end of these green grates are.
Oh yeah, they're supposed to. I actually don't quite know. I just know
feet?
you see the
Yeah.
orange
Yeah,
things there
I
right
thought
by
those
Mario.
are. Oh, I kind of thought those are just like supposed to be hinges, but I don't think those platforms do that.
Yeah.
The hinges are right there.
Yeah, that's what I thought you guys were talking about.
Sorry.
But yeah, well, I think that's what I'm trying to do now, is like figure out what the fuck I'm supposed to do from here.
Yeah, and I tried telling you you're supposed to like spray those, and they just like whoop.
By standing where? And then I just fall off for some reason that I can't discern, because I can't fucking see, because the camera only works for one angle in this section. This is probably me trying an alternate route.
Yeah, because I never, like, the times I played this game, I never take that route. I just go for, like, the alternate route that bypasses all of that.
It makes
Shit.
you wonder what the hell the point is.
They weren't expecting the players to be so crafty, and by crafty I mean saying fuck it and trying another solution.
What the hell is going on with Mario here?
Yeah,
I think you
I
got hit
remember
by-
pointing that out. Like you got hit, and you were just all like warbly, and then you talked to someone in for a
You
bit.
can
and
see his hairline where it ends when it meets the hat. Because his model's just going nuts.
and his shell just like.
Well, how'd that work out for you?
I think this just speaks to how, like, clumsy the level design in this game is. Because, like, you're clearly supposed to go around behind there and do that fucking intricate obstacle course that they set up. But evidently you can just not. Like,
It's way easier. It's way easier to not do the obstacle course.
and I guess there's stuff like that in Galaxy too,
Where you can take huge ass shortcuts.
Yeah, but I feel like those relied on, like, I felt like you had to know the really cool moves in order to do stuff like that in Galaxy. In this game, it's kind of just a matter of knowing the geometry a little bit. A lot of that has to do with the lack of long jump, I guess, because I fucking love the long jump in Galaxy.
Long jumps are amazing.
Yeah.
Wasn't long jumps in Super Mario 64?
Yeah,
also?
that's where that game was introduced. That's where that move was introduced.
Yeah.
And it wasn't brought into here because they expected you to be able to hover your way across problems.
Yep. Which isn't as fun.
Yeah, hovering with a water jetpack has its perks, but it's not nearly as cool as pulling off amazing parkour.
Yeah. I may have talked about this before, but I feel like the spin attack in Mario Galaxy was genius. Like, that one tiny move is so brilliant because it changes everything.
Yeah, like you can save yourself from near death with it because you get that little bit of hover.
Yeah, it changes the way you can interact with enemies. It changes the way you think about every jump you make. Because you've got the ability to just stop yourself in midair and just adjust yourself by a tiny bit in any direction.
And I think this is the part where I told you to like go to the green things that you used in other level.
And it didn't quite work out for me.
Yep, so
Yeah.
gotta
But
climb back up.
that's the same principle as Flood, right? Like, what if we gave Mario the ability to stop mid-jump and readjust himself? But I think they took it too far with Flood. To the point where it doesn't feel satisfying anymore.
I guess part of it is because you can use Flood a lot longer, you get much more time to adjust, and it doesn't feel as good as making like a snap decision.
I think that's exactly it. It's the speed. Like in Mario Galaxy, you jump, spin, run, long jump, readjust, spin again. And this is like, okay, jump, Flood, land. Line yourself up for the next jump, run around in circles for a bit to get your momentum back. Jump. Like I'm doing right now. Land.
Jump,
And
run.
then keep going.
Yeah, I think this took you a couple of attempts.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, but getting back up here to reattempt the jump is a lot easier than almost making it up the tower and then
And you
not.
didn't make it because you pretty
Well,
much...
here's the thing. In Galaxy, I would have gone spiraling into a black hole, start the obstacle course over again. It wouldn't make me walk back to the beginning.
You would just be going through the obstacle course again.
Right.
Or at
Which is
least
the same as what I'm doing here, but I have to walk back to the starting point instead of just being taken there.
Yeah, see, now you make it.
Yeah.
And this is also some of the times that you feel the need to get blue coins, even
Yeah.
though we...
Well, here's the thing. Now I'm just feeling bitter. Because, like, I feel like the wet level wasted so much of my time, and now I'm wasting its.
And ours by extension.
Yep. Absolutely. and my own. It's entirely irrational, don't get me wrong. But,
Jump.
yeah, and I keep missing because this tiny ledge.
That you can't walk over.
Yeah, you've got to jump over the 2-inch ledge. And I almost blow it. But yeah, I think this is going to be the end of this level.
Just about.
As soon as I figure out how to jump just a little higher.
And you managed to cling on.
Yep, still
Yep.
taking my sweet time.
You just... I thought...
Admiring its
Yep.
yeah,
trick shot.
buddy.
And fuck
Fuck
you.
you. And the ocean was electrified, and thousands of species of fish went extinct that day.
And you just see, like, hundreds of dead fish just start rising up to the surface at that point.
Which is probably what would happen.
Absolutely. Is there actually collision on that wheel?
No, I didn't see any collision. There was no, like, stars or...
It's kind of hard to tell if I'm just going through the gap or what.
Yeah. I mean, like, when the first time you tried it, it seemed to stop you when it was going really fast. And then you found a way through it.
Well, the cars must have collision because you stand on them.
Yeah. That would make getting up there really hard otherwise.
Yeah, just a giant ghost Ferris wheel.
Alright, I think it's my turn now. I do tend to find my way into the secret levels. Sea urchins on wires. I think.
I guess that's what they're supposed to be.
Electrical sea urchins, maybe? They look spiky enough to be sea urchins.
Right, but they might also just be spikes.
Yeah, I'm
or
thinking it's
surges
just
of
spikes.
electrical energy.
Yeah.
Just spikes.
And how come they're emitting electricity? Plain old spikes
You're
don't
right.
just
They're
emit electricity.
You're right. They must be sea urchins in that case. So, I mean, it's a fairly commonly accepted theory that these levels became the impetus for Mario Galaxy. I mean, the fact that a lot of them take place in space would seem to encourage that thinking. It would make sense. Like, it seems like... I remember when Galaxy 2 came out.
Oh, that's what happened. I had a feeling I somehow managed to find a way to screw up royally on that level, and that was how I did it.
When Galaxy 2 came out, I remember I think it was Miyamoto coming out and saying that the reason they made a sequel so soon after the first one was because they couldn't stop coming up with good ideas for Mario Galaxy levels.
And so it would it was originally supposed to be like a add-on, right? Like it just
well, I mean, Nintendo really wasn't. I mean, it's an entire game's worth of content easily.
Yeah, like it was originally going to be called Super Mario Galaxy More Mario Shuffle.
Yeah.
Now I can't lose.
Our patented move.
Our patented good luck charm.
Yeah. So it would make sense if, like, that whole wanting to make Mario Galaxy levels started with this game, and they just couldn't stop themselves because they had so many more better ideas for this type of level. Anyway, about Mario Sunshine.
Back to the game that we're actually playing.
Yeah, and, you know, going back and editing these, I get to listen to a lot of the things we say, sometimes many times in a row. And I realize a lot of my complaints about this game are story-driven. Like, I complain that, you know, Bowser Jr. / Shadow Mario isn't an interesting villain, that the Piantas aren't compelling NPCs, that the world of Isle Delfino isn't immersive, stuff like that. And I'm sure a lot of people would say that that's not fair because that's not the point. And they're probably right, but, you know, that's just the kind of video game I like, which is why, you know, Mario games, obviously, they're the best they are at what they do. But to me, what they do ain't always so pretty. That's largely where I'm at with Mario games, where they're not my favorite games as a whole. Just because they tend to be... I like games with story, and Mario games don't usually have a lot of story. But that's why I love Galaxy so much. Because it does kind of have that epic mythology to it, like... almost Zelda-esque in some of its presentation.
Oh, Chelsea's getting Shadow Mario.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the yellow
The
thing.
bat.
Yep. Which you can melt by only getting that Yoshi during the red coins in the reef.
It does seem like pretty weird placement. That is also another problem with the game that I have is that they seem to find ways to arbitrarily lengthen the game if you go for 100%, which doesn't even net you anything. It's just
going
bragging
for
rights.
100% is a self-imposed arbitrary lengthener in and of itself.
Yeah, but the fact that
they
they
still kind of want it to be fun.
Yeah, because I really don't want to have to go back to episode 6 to find the bee that I didn't eat because it was hidden on top of platform X that you can only find by spraying with the rocket nozzle.
What are those birds making out?
Wait, we're still in the Shadow Mario mission, right? Isn't that where the
Yes.
Shine Sprite was?
Well, we came back. It's me now. We came back to the Shadow Mario mission because Chelsea cheaped out and got a secret sprite.
Oh.
So, which leaves me to do this.
Oh,
Even though we've seen how good I am at it. But what the...
Oh, I thought you actually... Oh, there, now you have him.
Yeah, I seem to run into some weird animation problems with Shadow Mario. And I cannot get the shine spray until it decides to hit the ground.
I get to wash fruit gushers off the beach.
Yeah. I think you were supposed to pick that up and throw it.
Yeah.
Well, screw you. It's not like I can change my mind now. I can't change what past David did, guys. I'm not that good.
Yeah, I recently recommended, actually Kids on the Slope to a friend. Even though I didn't like it that much.
Kids on Slopes.
Yeah. It's an anime.
Oh yes, I remember watching that.
Basically, the deal is it's largely music focused, and they got a lot of people who worked on Cowboy Bebop to do it. So if you like the music in Cowboy Bebop, you might find something to enjoy in Kids on the Slope.
Mostly what I remember about that show was the complicated love shape that was going on that I don't quite remember what it is.
Yeah, your mileage will definitely vary based on your tolerance for high school drama bullshit.
Where you will be convinced that the two...
Meanwhile, Flood's going nuts through Mario's head.
Yeah, well, you're busy yelling at the screen thinking that the two guy friends have better chemistry than whatever romantic interests are thrown their way. And I think that's like a problem a lot of anime seem to have, is that you have two guy best friends and their chemistry is way better than any girl they interact with.
Wasn't there a point in the show where they just like played off of that, like?
In Kids on the Slope?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, I'm pretty sure, maybe, I don't quite remember.
I don't quite remember either, but I clearly remember someone commenting, like, on one episode that it was almost deliberate, like, when the two guys were, like, talking alone, and a couple of their comments could be construed as suggestive.
Oh, yeah, I had fun with that.
Yeah, I don't... Because I also watched JoJo recently, and for some... I don't know what it says about me that I watch, like, Kids on the Slope, and I'm like, you two should kiss! But then I watched JoJo, and I didn't get gay vibes from that at all. I don't know. I didn't get much out of JoJo, to be honest.
I haven't watched a lot of JoJo either. I've only watched the first couple episodes, but I can imagine you wouldn't exactly get those kinds of vibes because the show does try to prove it's like hyper masculine to the point of parody. So
right, the JoJo anime is actually confusing because they made an anime series where they just started with Jotaro's story because that was the one that was going on in the manga at the time, I believe. But there were two JoJos before him. Kujo Jotaro is the third JoJo.
Yeah, I have to ask
so
the
there's
experts.
an entirely new anime series that starts up with Jonathan Joestar's story, and it's the first season of that is just Jonathan's story all the way through. Then the second season of that series is Joseph's story all the way through. Then the third season starts Jotaro's story, and now they're on the fourth season, which is continuing Jotaro's story.
Oh, so I guess I watched season 3 first.
I think you probably watched season 1 of the old anime.
We watched this on Crunchyroll. I know it was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures,
Yeah.
Star Blazer something.
Stardust Crusaders.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
one.
the one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that would be the third season of the new show.
Okay. Wow, okay.
So yeah, you've got some prequel action I would recommend watching. Fuck this level.
Yeah.
We decide that as soon as we lay eyes on these watermelons.
Yeah, no one likes
nope.
that level. And if you say you do, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going for one of the easy ones where I just do this little box mini game. That's astonishingly easy, despite the fact that I screw up once or twice. But I think at this point we've just decided we're gonna go for the minimum.
Yeah, and this isn't even required for the minimum.
Right, but it means I don't have to play.
Well, yeah. 999.
And I finished this with 99. Wait a minute.
9 seconds and 99 milliseconds.
Oh, it's upside down now. Oh my god.
Holy shit!
It's the devil.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, there he is. There, get out of here. Get out of here, Beelzebub. I'm not caught up with JoJo at all, because again, the anime has come nowhere close to catching up to the manga. There's like 7 JoJos, and Jotaro is only the 3rd. So we're doing this level now, and I don't know if anyone saw, but we got here by murdering a Yoshi.
Yeah, we replaced...
Who, for some reason, you had to make sure it was the right color.
Hey, it doesn't work if he's pink. I know that much. I do have experience with this game.
So this
Contrary to popular belief, I do have experience with this game.
Yeah.
So do I, but at the same time, my Yoshi managed to, like, get on the ride.
So the way
without
this works
needing a
is
color
there's...
change.
The way this works is there's a carousel, like a merry-go-round, but instead of horses, there's little Yoshis to ride on. But there's one pole that has no Yoshi on it. So you need to take a live Yoshi and bring it to that pole, and that's how you get to the level. So the first thing I could point out about that is that it doesn't make any goddamn sense, because why would doing that teleport you places? Second, it's hard to read that as any other way than you just impaled a Yoshi on a stick. And like, look at this fucking level. It's composed entirely of different colored cubes.
In
Like-
a Yoshi's Island Sky Dome.
Yeah.
Or at least that looks like a Yoshi Island art
But
style.
like, this is literally
is.
cut and paste assets. Like, there's no visual cohesiveness to this, and I think that just screams how, like, last minute this was. Like, there was no grand vision for this level. There was an idea for an interesting platform puzzle, but instead of making it look like beautifully crafted little planetoids like in Mario Galaxy, they just took
Blocks.
like
And added a Yoshi egg
shapes
texture.
that they textured different ways and just sort of arranged them into a level. Like, this looks like something that was made on someone's lunch break. And it's the most fun part of the game.
These tend to be one of my... This is like my least favorite part, since I like using the nozzles. Mostly the turbo nozzle. But...
Yeah. But I feel like if you're coming for the platforming, this is the kind of thing you want. And honestly, you could just have Flood in this level. It wouldn't... I mean, you'd be able to do this part real fucking easy where you just jump over there, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't have to deal with that going up and down that I can't even see
like,
the
whatever,
wall
you
kick off of.
space it out a little differently, and this could easily just be a level that you have Flood for. You wouldn't have to change that much.
Yeah, see, I managed to wall kick that time. There we go.
Again, this is several weeks after the fact, just because of the way we do these. It's a lot easier to record an episode than it is to edit it.
Yeah, I mean, not that I know, I've never edited one of these, but I have done video editing.
Oh, thanks.
A while ago. I've done video editing in high school, and
Sure, everyone was very proud of you.
Hey, my math project.
I don't give a fuck about your math project.
Well, fuck you
Was the
too.
point I was trying to get across there.
Yes, my editing wasn't exactly top-notch Hollywood material.
Again, not the point.
Then what is
Unless your
point?
editing is helping me, I don't give a fuck.
Well, fuck you too. I was trying to tell an interesting story because it seemed like a good
Oh
segment.
no, really, please, by all means, go ahead. Tell me the interesting story about your math project.
Well, it was really shitty live action. That's it. Because you just keep sandbagging me, man. Why do you sandbag me? Our relationship isn't going to work if you keep sandbagging me. Oh yeah, we get to race him again.
It's weird to me that they named a character Il something.
Il Piantissimo.
Yes. When the I and the L in this font look almost completely identical.
Yeah.
That wasn't a great idea.
Like,
This lady just standing here, like,
hold aside.
yeah. I am just picturing her, like, standing there with that vacant gaze, holding her sign, as the sun rises and sets over and over again. Just waiting for something to happen.
Or she just knows what's up. She probably see the guy and she's like, oh, there's gonna be an event. Raised a sign.
For some reason, that's the much more reasonable thing to assume, but for some reason, that's not what I visualize. Probably, again, because none of the NPCs in this game feel like characters. They all feel like
generic town person.
gameplay conveniences. I guess if I went around town and talked to more of them, you'd start to get a clearer picture of their personalities, but unlike something like, say, Majora's Mask, there's never any reason to do that. Like, talking to the NPCs will get you nothing in this game, ever.
Except for blue coins, on the occasion.
Sure.
But even then.
Which I was shocked to learn are entirely unnecessary for everything except for 100% completion in this game. Like, unless you're going for 100%, there's no reason to get the
looks like
coins.
we're ending it.
And yeah, so that'll wrap this up, I think. Does anyone have any closing comments?
Hope you liked our post-commentary.
Yeah. Hopefully this won't need to become a regular thing. And we won't be losing our audio on a regular basis. And I hope you enjoyed our episode of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast.
Alright.
So we'll see you next time.
We are so gonna have such a low grade. Everyone's gonna die at one boss. I know it.
Hi, Nick.
How's it going?
Awfully well.
I'm glad.